Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. This is Cindy from Cindy's Creative Cards, and I am here tonight to show you some simple but very sweet and lovely cards that you can make. I've had fun doing it this afternoon. I hope that you're going to have fun and you're going to want to make them. So, I do want to remind you that we now have online exclusives. You can only get them online. Um, YouTube is telling me it's time to go live. And they are already sold out, part of it. So go and check them out. They'll be changing. I don't know if it's every month or every few months, but they will be changing and new ones put in. So you'll want to keep track of that. Also, on the clearance rack, I think there's an item on there that I had not seen before, and it may have been there and I just missed it. But continue to check that clearance rack out because you can really get some super duper deals there. Okay, well, let's get on to our card. As you can see, I have put it here, and I used the pinned dies that go with the hand pinned stamp set, hand pinned petals stamp set, and here is the stamp set. The dies are right here. It's got a border die, and it cuts out each of these flowers. Plus, it's got this intricate inset, which is what I used for this right here. So that's what we're going to do, is use that to create a card similar to this. Now, we're not going to use the same colors because I just wanted to see what it looked like in Bermuda Bay and Calypso, Coastal Cabana. So we're going to find out. I did not have the DSP that goes with this suite. And I thought I had it, but I guess I've used it up. So anyway, I chose to use this stamp set to create my own DSP. So that's what we're going to do. Now, for the sake of time, I've gone ahead and cut my card bases, and they are 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I have my Bermuda Bay, which is what we're going to be using for our base. And then we're going to have a white panel right here. But we also, and that's the one part that I did not cut, we also need a white panel for stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and over to the side, I'm going to cut this. Let's see, this one is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to go down 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay, and this piece will lay right on top of that, just like we have layered it on this one. There is a white piece underneath the one that I stamped. So we're going to stamp. I'm going to lay this to the side, and we're going to be stamping on this one. So I'm going to get out this stamp, this large stamp here that I have used. It looks sort of nasty because I think I must have used StazOn ink with it at one point, and that does stain it. And I need my bigger stamp block, which happens to be stamp block E. And I'm going to use my Bermuda Bay ink. And I'm going to load up my stamp. Just like that. And then I'm going to get a scrap sheet of paper to go under this because I'm going to be stamping off the side. And I'm just going to start stamping. And you just sort of have to fit it together. Let's see. Let's try that. I absolutely love Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. Pool Party being my favorite. And I would have used it, but I was afraid it would not show up as well. Okay, and I'm going to put leaves right there. So I think I've gotten that covered pretty well. So I'm going to close this. We'll come back to this and use it again to stamp our sentiment. But for the moment, we're going to get that where it will not cause any damage. Because I guarantee you, if it's open, I'm going to plant my hand in it. All right, so let's use our tape runner and put this first layer down. Okay, here's the first layer. Okay, and then we're going to put this layer down. I just want you to see how simple this is and how fast this card can go. Okay, that looks pretty just like that. Then we're going to put down this piece. This piece, this is cut with the color and contour. And it is, let me show you which one. The scalloped contour dies is this one right here. Okay, yeah. Right there. And then this piece is cut to fit right inside. Now, I think this one is, hang on one second, Kitty has to go out. Okay. She didn't want to stay with me anymore. 1 7/8 by 3 1/4. And it fits right into there. So I'm put that to the side. I went ahead and cut that because I wanted to get both cards done. So this piece is going to go down. It's actually going to be put together, put down with Stampin' Dimensionals. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and stamp right here my sentiment. And we're going to do that. Let's see, where is it? Of course, there are many sentiments that you can use, but I'm doing thanks once again because I have a lot of people that I do need to thank. Okay. And as you can see on this one, it's sort of offset. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to offset it. And about right there. And this particular stamp, has a tendency to not stamp as boldly as you want it to, so you have to hold it a second. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So that's all of our Bermuda Bay ink that we'll be using. So I'm going to put that to the side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put this down right inside here. This is making me happy already. Okay, so then it's going to go down like this, but we'll put Stampin' Dimensionals on it. And let's see. And lately, my centers have been caving in, so I want to make sure that that does not happen here. So I'm going to make sure to put some there, like that. All right, so we're going to take these off. Well, maybe we'll take them off. All right, so we can go ahead and put this down, but oh yeah, I know, I knew I'd forget it, and I did. Okay, I'm going to slide this up just a tad, and these go up a tad. And before this gets set, you can slide it or move it. But once that is set, it's going to destroy your paper. Okay, there we go. Now, what I knew I was going to do, and that's where this pick it up tool is going to come in handy. I forgot to put my bow in here, my twine. So I'm just going to lift it up like that. I'm going to take my twine. Now it comes in a pack of 3, and this is not the pack it came in. This is actually linen thread. And I know it came with this khaki colored, or Sahara sand maybe it is. But I'm not exactly sure what else it came with. It may have been black. But it does come in a pack of 3. Okay, so, nope, that's the wrong place. It's going to be down here that it goes, because I tried it the other way earlier tonight, and I did not like it up there. So, I pulled it up so it would tie. And I'm going to put that back down and let it go up underneath here like that. Okay, and we're going to tie this into a bow on the side here. So it's right here on, it flops over onto the side of this sentiment right here, where this sentiment is. So I'm going to bring this over. And I hope I can get my fingers to tie this bow better than it did this afternoon, because I was having a terrible time. Okay, maybe I can tonight. Okay, if I can get hold of it. All right, so I'm going to pull this. Now, if it were just me working here by myself, I would retie this because I've got all this extra string and I do not like to waste it. However, I am not going to take chances tonight. So I'm going to, I think it's going to be long enough that I actually can use it for something else. Okay, so there we go. We'll get rid of this extra here. And normally you would put this on last, but I had to go ahead and do it because of the way this goes on top of it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, so I'm going to get out my snips and I'm going to cut here and here like that. All right, then I'm going to get my little mini glue dot, these little mini glue dots, and I'm going to take my take your pick or pick it up tool, and I am going to get one of these little dots and I'm going to roll it. And then I'm going to put it right under this knot so it will stay right there in place. Well, it's moving all around. Where is my... There it is. It's on the tip of this. Okay, there. And it's not tight. Tell you what, all this trouble for just this little bow. Okay, there we go. We got it right there. Now, we got to do our cutout to put right here. So, let me put this to the side. And I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss machine, or embossing and cut machine. Cut and emboss machine, I think it is. Okay, I'm going to put this up because I want you to be able to see this cute little thing. I do love this thing. There is a learning curve to it, but it does an excellent job. So I've opened it up. Here's my bottom plate. And here are my two plates here. And I'm going to soon have to get some more because they're beginning to bow. So I'm going to get out now the pinned flowers die, this little intricate one that insets there. And I'm going to get my paper. We're going to do it with Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to put that right there. Now, the trick to this is offsetting your plates. And sort of, and it'll catch it and it'll run it through. Boy, have I got to replace those plates. But I am trying to do it backwards, so. Okay. Now, when we lift this up, this is what we have. And you will pick up the outer piece, and here you have all these little pieces that will punch out. Now, most of them are just going to pop right out with your finger like this. Okay. But then, and I'm trying to do it over this plate so it doesn't go everywhere. But then there is a tool that goes on the end of your pick it up tool. You take out this. Nope, wrong end. I do that every time. You take out the adhesive end or the sticky end. And there is a little spongy mat that goes with this, but I cannot find it. And you just run this over it, or you can poke it out like this, because most of these are going to pop right out. But if you run this right over it, most of it's going to come out, especially if you have that mat. I am still looking for mine, but this pokey tool does the trick. So there we go. It's all ready to go. Then I'm just going to scoop that right off of there and put this over to the side. Okay. Now, we're going to bring this in, and we're going to place this like that. Isn't that pretty? Now, I saw something similar to this on Pinterest a while back, and I do not remember who did it. Of course, they had their own the DSP that goes with this, and they did use the contour dies. But that's about all that's like there. That is alike. I wish I had gotten the name of the person so you could see the difference. But they did place this right here, like this. Like that. And look, our card is finished. Isn't it pretty? I love it. I think it is so pretty. Okay, so here's that one. And here is this one. You'll have to let me know which one you like the most. Which one you think is the prettiest. They're basically the same, except these are turned differently. So anyway, there we go. That's card number 1. Okay, so I'm going to put this over to the side. Put this back in because we're not going to be using this now. We're finished with this. What we're going to be doing now is making a sweet, simple, clean-looking card with painted poppies. And here is this card. Now, let me bring this back down so you can see. And here it is. Isn't that pretty? It's so simple, but it's just so pretty. Okay, so how we're going to do this is very much the same as far as once we get our design, we're going to put our twine underneath this raised up piece and put it down. Okay, so I am going to take my brush off of my pick it up tool. And I'm going to put this adhesive end or sticky end back on. So I will have it. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to slide this one to the side. We're using basic white cardstock the 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, and I went ahead and did that. And I went ahead and cut this piece that will go right here. Okay, it is 2 and let me get my ruler. This is a Tim Holtz ruler, and I do love it because it's a centering ruler where you have 0 here, and it counts out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the center, but then you can come over here and it's just like your standard ruler. This is 3 3/8 by 2 1/4. A little bit over, but not much. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our stamping, and then we're going to back it with this. So the first step is to bring in our pool party, and I'm not changing colors on this because every time I think about poppies, I think red, although I know they do come in about every color possible. But I have red poppy prints in my house, and I just cannot get beyond that. Okay, so here is the stamp. Here are the stamps right here. And here's the one I'm going to be using. You can see. And I'm going to be using this one as well. So we're going to start out with this one. This is like the water splash. We're going to do that with Pool Party. Okay, so put it here, here. Okay, I think that's good. Then this is closer to this edge, so that looks more like the sky, if you will. I'm going to take my black, Tuxedo Black ink, Memento is a brand, and I am going to stamp. Let's see, where is my, I used it earlier. What did I do? Let's set this aside. Okay, where is that stamp block? Oh, here it is. Okay, and I'm going to get this ready, and then I'm just going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp right here, like this. All right, that's great. Then I'm going to bring in my Poppy Red, the dark and the light, but I'm going to start out with the light. And this is the part that I have to be so careful with. And it's hard the way this is positioned because the camera is where my head should be. So we're going to hope that I can get this ink in the right place. Now I'm using the alcohol marker blends and the light and the dark in the Poppy Red. And as you know, just a touch or two and it'll spread. It seems to know where the lines are. And it looks almost like watercolor. And it blends so beautifully. Now, little silky girl, that's not going to work. Okay, let me get her down. Silky, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You got to get down. She loves to get up here and help me. And as much as I love her, I just can't have her up here in the middle of all this inky stuff. Of course, she doesn't understand that. Because she thinks she's got to be where I am. And she sleeps on top of me. So I guess she figures that she ought to be on top of me during the day too. Okay, I'm using the darker one now to sort of do some shadowing. This is so small, there's not a whole lot you can do, but just a touch here and there will give it a little dimension. And you don't have to be so precise, because we do want this to sort of look like a watercolor painting. Okay, there we go. Can you see how that gave it some dimension? All right, so I'm going to slide this over. Now I'm going to cut this to fit. Got to move some of this stuff around. My workspace just seems to get so much smaller when I'm crafting. All right, so we know let's see. I want that to go like that. So I'm going to pull my pencil out here, and I'm going to mark it here and here. I'm going to slide this down. Okay. I want to mark it here and here. And then I'm going to cut this little part off. We'll cut it at right there. Which then means about that much is going to have to come off up there. I wonder if you guys do your measuring like this. I don't always do it this way, but in this particular situation, I think this is the best way to go. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Where am I going to do this? Right here. And let's see. The top, I need to cut off a little bit. Okay. And that fits pretty good. I just have to cut this side off. Where did that pencil go? Which is going to be about right there. Now, because it was in the middle of that piece, that's why I did it that way. Otherwise, I would have there. I would have measured it. Okay, so now we want to get this and see how the alcohol marker bleeds through. So whenever you're doing something, you need to make sure that you don't mind that happening if you're using them on like notebook pages or whatever. Okay, and there we go. So we're going to put dimensionals on there, and we're going to put this right there. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get our twine. And we're going to wrap it around here. This is going to be right here at the top. And I want to get, come on, I can't feel it. That's the problem. I have neuropathy in my hands and I can't feel things sometimes like this. So it makes it hard. All right, so we're going to get this bow on the side here. If I could do this without you having to sit through and watch me fumble through it, I would. However, this is the next step. Okay, let's see if this works. Now I got 2 strings here. Okay, here we go. So this goes back on here like that. And this is going to go right here. And we're going to pull. Oh my goodness. Like I said, fumble fingers. I got too much room over here. Okay, I think we're going to have to wait. I thought maybe I could get it where I could just turn this over and put my dimensionals on it and plop it right down. However, it does not seem that's going to be the case. However, let's see. We're going to try this again. I need another finger. And that's where the glue dot would come in. But the glue dot would go on the... that's still too loose. Okay, never mind. All right, let's get our dimensionals. Well, that's part of the dimensionals. Where are the dimensionals? There they are. Like I said, my workspace just gets small and it gets cluttered. Alrighty, now I'm going to take these pieces off. I'm going to take this. Now I have a knot in it. It's going to go about right there. I'm not going to push it down because I want to use that. So I'm going to put this underneath it. I just have to get the knot out. All right, now, so I'm going to just lift that up a bit. And actually, I think putting it right there, like that, and that will hold it. So now I'm going to try this where it is secured. And I got too much string over there. Now I want to do it right here on the edge. I have seen my leader just whip these little bows right out. Okay, I think that's going to work. I just have to get all the excess string. All right, there we go. Pull that a little And I'm going to cut this right here. And I'm going to cut right here. So now we have our little bow. So the only thing left to do is to stamp the sentiment. I would like for that to come down, but I don't know if it's going to or not. Well, there we go. All right, there's our bow. Now, I'm going to stamp right here. And on this one, I put love you, mean it. And I thought on this one here that I would put love you, miss you. Let's see if this is the correct one. Love you, miss you. Yes. Okay. And I wanted to show you when you have a stamp like this, for those of you, and I do have some customers who are beginning stampers. And so this is our rubber cling stamp. And you have this piece on the back and it's sticky here. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at this sheet that goes along with this, and you're going to find the correct sentiment that matches it. And it's right here. Love you, miss you. I'm going to peel this off like that. And then this is divided in half. So I'm going to pull the backing off of that and the backing off of this. And then I line up one end and most of the time the other end just falls down into place. Well, this one's definitely not. Let's see if I can get it in the right place. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my stamp block. Now, because this is a new cling stamp, it may have some residue from all those chemicals and things they used in the factory. So you want to just rub that a little bit with your finger. You could even rub it on your shirt sleeve. Make sure, if you can see I'm getting all this stuff off of it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Little white flaky stuff. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my black, my Memento black, tuxedo black ink. I'm going to load my stamp. And I'm just going to see how this looks before. I'll try it one more time. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to center it. I hope I've got it centered. Well, I did. Just did the L did not completely stamp. So what I'm going to do is get my micron pen or archival ink. I could use the Stampin' Right marker, but this has a much thinner tip to it. And there. And there's our card. Quick, simple, and very pretty. I think anyone would be happy to get it. So here we go. Here's the one we just made. Here's the one that I did earlier. Look very similar, don't they? Okay. If I can get this up. Then the one I did earlier with this other one was this one. That's with the gorgeous grape and the fresh freesia. And tonight we did this one with the Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. So, like I said, 2 simple cards, but oh, so sweet, so pretty. I'd love to know what your opinion is about the colors as far as this one is concerned, which one you like the best, and which one do you like the best out of the 2 we made tonight. I would really love to know. Thank you for being with me. I've enjoyed doing this, and I hope that you have learned something. And if you have, I'd love for you to give me a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I would love for you to subscribe so you can get notified of when there will be more videos. Once again, I want to say thank you for your support. And until I see you next week, dream, create, and share. Thank you so much. Good night.